Now recently, thanks in part to lazy shippers and not very caring brokers, I became proficient at cleaning the tracks of dirty machines with these tools. So I'm gonna show you the procedure, because it's very important for a heavy haul, since nobody seems to care if you're gonna be turned back from the border or not. The good news is that I'm making a whopping $100 Canadian with this. Now I cleaned up a little bit the other side, but I need a bigger brush. I had a bigger one. See, this one is too short, but it really works great when you have dirty tracks and it's dry. And then you use a screwdriver in this when something is stuck. Lots of fun. Sheets Coffee. You gotta be careful how you pronounce this, you know, when English is not your mother tongue. Sheets Coffee. Or is it Sheets Coffee? It's funny how this time, the only 2 times I went inside the Gritty Pilot was to use the washroom. The food is no good, coffee is good. Oh yeah, I went to get the washroom, use the washroom and get coffee. Because they have that beans to cup machines. But Sheets has the same thing. And Sheets is right down there, and diesel over here. Yesterday all pumps were closed. They put those, you know, orange cones all over the place. People were waiting for a couple of hours, and then many of them just left. So today the pumps are working, but the price is $371.9, so $3.72 credit. And yesterday when I went to Sheets, because they have a good like a kind of like a Subway style sandwich shop in there, and they have all kinds of Mexican food, you know. And what I did, I just ordered a burrito with no bread, you know, like a bowl with pulled pork and some guacamole or a little bit of veggies. It's pretty good, like $5, and you can do like double meat, and the coffee is very nice. And so I just got all my food from there. And I noticed they have of course it's a tiny gas station, and I noticed they have a diesel pump. I go to the diesel pump, like, I'm always curious about the prices, because sometimes they can just drop the trailer and, you know, and save a bunch of money by going to a small gas station. And it says 3.099, basically $3.10 per gallon. 62 cents difference. And so I went inside. You have to prepay, so I prepaid $250. So I just got just over 80 gallons. So how much did I save? So if I had 100 gallons, I would have saved 60 cents. I would have saved $60, right? So I probably saved like $50, you know, which is pretty good too.
Continue on US 22 west for 1 kilometer.
Now this is, I'm curious how many accidents it'll take to put a light in here, because this thing, it's very difficult to get out of there without making people angry. And so this is Sheets. I was at that pump 1. You go like this, and then you have to back because it's hard to make that turn, and then you leave like this and you go back. I wish they would have parking, you know. If they had parking, I would just even spend the night over there. It's so much better than that freaking Pilot. And there's a new Loves in here. Never been there, because it seems like the entrance and exit are a pain in the butt, you know, for a long trailer. Like, there's a guy now, check out on the left side, there's a guy trying to leave. And first off, the traffic is crazy most of the time, just like over there. But look how tight it is.
400 meters, use the right lane to take
See?
US 11 north, US 15 north ramp to Summits Road.
It's very tight because you have a barrier, and so you only have 2 lanes, right? Whereas over there, where I was turning, you have 2 lanes from plus a huge divider lane,
Use the right lane to take the US 11 north ramp.
and 2 other lanes on the other side. And so actually it's much easier to
Continue for 53 kilometers.
It's much easier to get on the road there because quite often you just go into the center lane, like the divider lane, and then you put on your blinker, also known in Florida as eternal left. Oh, and I hope you guys enjoyed that segment with me cleaning the tracks. I barely made a dent. Like, this machine is, it's much dirtier than the dozer I brought in last time. I'll have to spend at least another hour. But first I want to get to Dansville, New York, because over there they have that tractor shop, whatever it's called, you know, those hardware store. And I hope they have bigger steel wire brushes, because this one, it's too small. So if I get a bigger wire brush, I'm just gonna go again through the passenger side track and driver side track with a steel brush, and then clean up the mess with the soft brush. And that's why I bought that basically snow scraper yesterday for $7 from Pilot, because it's useful, you know, to remove debris and dust. And it's very dusty. You know, yesterday when I was going to bed, I found all my socks and sneakers were full of dust. So now I definitely, next time I'm doing this, I'm gonna wear this, because who knows, maybe there's some asbestos over there or something, right? Some crazy stuff in those tracks, you know. I don't want to be breathing that stuff. But this side looks good on the front. And the secret I learned is that they care more about the left side. Okay, that's a joke. CBP, please, don't put me in prison. No, I'm joking like that because the officer, when you come to the border, right, is on this side. Of course, because he's talking to me, I give him the paperwork, he or she. But this time, I'm going to the export office. And that guy over there, I've been there quite a few times in Lewiston. He goes on the trailer and he jumps on the trailer to check the serial number on the machine. And the serial number I checked is on this side. So this time, as always, I have to make sure that all sides are clean. Okay? Not yet sure, so if the steel brush by itself will be enough. But I'm pretty sure that segment with me cleaning was enjoyable to many viewers, because nothing as relaxing as to see other people work hard, you know, especially when you're in a recliner with a bottle of your favorite beer and you see Captain Sergei, you know, scratching away at the debris deeply embedded in the tracks of this Volvo 305 excavator. So as long as it's not you, right? But I'm telling you, I was doing this and I look at the tracks, how dirty they still are, and I was getting a bit upset with the broker and the shipper, even though, yeah, I volunteered. I said, yeah, okay, give me $100 Canadian, I'll clean it. But it's a mess. It takes a lot of time. You waste, as a driver, you waste a lot of time with this. And for what? For $100? 75 US? Yeah, I started a bit late today because this is like 1 hour, very relaxing drive alongside the river, but after that there's a stretch in that Shamokin Dam or Smoking Dam, where there's a curfew from 7 to 9. And so even though I got up at 6 and I did my truck load program, TLP, which is a permit for the bridge, like you apply online, you tell them what your spacings are and your axle weights are, or which way you're going, west or east across the bridge to, I said, Canada bound from US. I did that, and then I got fuel, got coffee, and my plan was to leave at 8, but I left a bit later. But here it's 50 miles, and I didn't want to be there before 9 a.m. And what I programmed TA in Dansville, and over there I'm gonna drop the trailer and just drive over, like around the corner to that Tractor Supply store, and hopefully they sell steel wire brushes. And I ran into a little scare when I went to the Queenston-Lewiston bridge website. When I clicked on tracker services, and then it says TLP, truckload program, there's a big notice in red. It says, at this time we cannot accommodate loads over 11 feet wide due to construction on the Lewiston Plaza. And I called them. I said, guys, I checked my permit. I checked my New York permit. It's sending me through Queenston-Lewiston Bridge, and I have to be there because this is export load, right? I have to stop at the export office on the US side there, and they do a quick inspection of the load. So I cannot go through any other crossing, what I'm trying to say, right? And so I called them. I said, I'm 11.8, 11 feet 8 inches wide. I need to cross there. Like, what is this about 11 feet wide? And the guy said, oh, don't worry about it. That's just if you're coming from Canada. And I said, well, on your website, it's not clear. You just say construction on the Lewiston Plaza. And Lewiston, that's the New York side, like Lewiston, New York. And on the Canadian side, the town is called Queenston, Ontario, which is part of Niagara Falls. And the guy says, well, I'm sorry about that, but got me worried there for a second. And I sent a copy of that red notice to the broker and to the buyer. I said, we might have some trouble over here. Because how do you squeeze an 8-foot wide excavator through a zone which is restricted to 11 feet, right? And then after I hang up with the supervisor over there, I emailed the broker again. I said, okay, false. The subject line was false alarm. Access from US side is limited to 14 feet. That's what the guy told me. He says up to 14 in width if you're coming from the US side. Okay. So it should take me probably, I don't know, 3.5 hours to get to Dansville. I'll probably be there somewhere around 12 o'clock. And then they're sending me on New York 63 towards Batavia, and then 5 west, and then I take 77 north to I-90, and then I-90 west to 290 to I-190 towards Queenston-Lewiston Bridge. But I know that office closes at 5, so, and I have to spend at least an hour cleaning the tracks. So if I'm at the TA in Denver at 12 o'clock, let's say I go and I clean up, and then I still have to do my ACI, so it's gonna be 2 o'clock. And then if I start driving at 2 o'clock, you know, I'm not sure. I think I'll get closer to the border. There's a TA and Flying J at that 77, where I have to take 77 to the I-90, right? And right there's 2 big truck stops. And then I checked, once I'm on I-90, there's a one last rest area, you know, like a toll plaza, right? Like the rest plaza on I-90 right before I take that 290. So I don't know. I'll see how the cleaning goes, because I might not be able to cross today. And then from there, it's 100 miles to my destination near Toronto. So there's a couple of interesting bridges over there near Niagara on 290, or what is it, I-190? Like when you go on the island and then off the island, it's very narrow, but it's a 2-lane, but no shoulders. I'll just have to go in the middle, but it's a pretty long bridge, you know. People get upset, but there's nothing I can do. The New York permit was $40 for the state and $80 for the toll part. And that's why many Canadians try to avoid toll routes in New York, because when you have an oversized load, see, the toll permit is twice the price of a regular permit. But I don't care. I need to get back to Canada faster, and the toll highway is the fastest way. Because after this, of course, I'm gonna change my rig to either 2+2 or 3+1, and head back into US to pick up that big box, 115,000 pounds. So they already gave me a partial prepayment to help with the permits, and then I'm gonna be reimbursed 100% for all permits and escorts. So that will be an interesting load. So stay tuned. Lots of loads, lots of work. The weather's good, everything is good. Thanks for watching.